If you need to record on the go, you might be wondering if grabbing your Apple AirPods and pairing them with your phone might be a good way to record. I recently answered this question for a client, and today I'm going to share that answer with you as well. What's happening, podcasters? This is 1000 Podcasters, and I'm Brian Ensminger. I'm a podcaster and a podcast editor, and I'm here to see you succeed in your podcast. You can find me at toptieraudio.com, where I share this podcast and also help other podcasters through consulting, editing, and the free content that I create. So let's talk about today's topic. Let's assume for a minute that for some reason you need to record on the go, and maybe you're in the process of packing and you don't want to carry a bunch of stuff in your bag, or maybe you're already out and about and you have with you what you have, but now, as you think about this, you've got something that you need to record. It might be something like a solo narration for a solo show. It might be a quick update, or perhaps you need to record an interview, something like that. And you might be thinking to yourself, I wonder if using my Apple AirPods would be the way to go. You know that you want to have things sounding great. You want them to sound great. You know that being out and about, it might not sound exactly like studio quality, but you want it to sound really good. And if nothing else, you want to make sure that the sound quality doesn't cause somebody to turn it off and move on. So that leads us to the question, should you just grab your Apple AirPods, throw them in your bag and go? Or maybe if you have them with you, should you just use those? And the answer is maybe. And let me explain for you. If this is all that you have available to record on the go, maybe you're already out and about and this is what you have, or maybe you don't have something that you can pack, the best microphone to record something might just be the one that's in your pocket. Now, this talking about your earpods, might not be the best solution if you want to record an interview, for example, because they're going to be for you. You're going to have them in your ears, and so they're not going to pick up a great interview. But if you need something that's solo and that's all you have, yeah, they might work for you. If you have nothing else and you need to interview, it might be better actually if you just hold your phone like a microphone and pass it back and go back and forth, kind of like I call it Bob Barker style, where you've got one microphone and you kind of point it to you and then point it to your guest and point it to you and point it to your guest. It might be better to use your phone that way than trying to use the Bluetooth headsets like the AirPods. But if that's all you have, and it's all that's available, that might be the best thing, because of the content. If you can't capture the content, you can't share it as well. However, if you're able to plan ahead a little bit, I'm going to recommend against using your Apple AirPods to do a recording, and I'm going to share with you why. You might think to yourself, well, of course I wouldn't want to use the AirPods, but let's talk about why you might want to do that, because there are other solutions that you can use if you need to capture something on the go and you need it to be very portable. Before I get to that, though, the AirPods, and this is the biggest reason I'm going to share this, the AirPods by default are going to sound basically like a pretty good phone call. It's not going to sound as good as a professional microphone. It's not even going to sound as good as the microphones that I would recommend for a starting podcaster, because it's going to be capturing a limited frequency band. You're going to be missing the high end where all the air lives. You might be missing a little bit of the low end. It's going to sound like basically like a pretty good phone call, or maybe like a Skype call, something like that, but it's not going to be studio quality. And so you'll be missing a portion of that, and it'll sound okay. It might even be understandable, but it's not going to sound great. If you really need to capture something on the go and you can plan ahead, I would recommend checking into some interfaces. There are various interfaces out there. I'll leave a link in the show notes for one that I recommend that will allow you to connect your regular microphone right to an iPhone and power it from that. There are some that are just single interface. There are some that require an additional connector, but those are great options, and some of them will even power more than one microphone. So if you have an interview that you need to record, say in a restaurant or something, you can take two microphones with you and you have one of these interfaces, that might be a better way to do it. Or you can do exactly like what I'm doing right now. I've got a microphone that just plugs into the lightning adapter on my phone. I'm sitting in my car right now recording into a microphone into my phone that is made specifically for this, and it's incredibly portable. It's something that's very easy to use, and something that, if you can, I would recommend either of these solutions over using the Apple AirPods. So do you have a microphone that you can plug right into your lightning adapter, or can you get an interface that would work with your phone and then use a standard microphone? Either of those are going to be a better option for you. Now, back to the question, can you use AirPods to record? Absolutely you can. However, the question of should you? Probably not, especially if you have a better solution, and now you know why. Now, I am interested though. If you've had an experience with Apple AirPods in your podcast, I'd love to hear about it. You can leave a comment in the episode notes. You'll find those at toptieraudio.com. And if you'd like to connect or subscribe, you can do all of that at toptieraudio.com. Anything from subscribing to this show, setting up a consultation, talking to me about perhaps taking on editing for your show, contacting me directly, toptieraudio.com is the place for all of that. Thanks again for being here. Now go out there and make a great podcast.